Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a week of Linux and security news for the 15th of October 2017. Well, I'm starting with this article that's nearly 10 years old, and this is regarding a statement about Android, and in particular I'm focusing on the section about Microsoft. So they're a bit more defensive. It really sounds like they're getting a whole bunch of people together to build a phone, and that's something we've been doing for 5 years. I don't understand the impact they're going to have. So fast forward to this week, and from the Telegraph, Microsoft is finally killing off the Windows Phone operating system after 17 years. Say, what kind of impact did Android have? Oh, I think it was fairly minimal actually. A senior executive said the company has no plans to release new features or smartphones, closing a chapter for the computer giant. Of course, we'll continue to support the platform, bug fixes, security updates, etc., but building new features and hardware aren't the focus, said Joe Belfiore. And he states, we tried very hard to incentivize application developers, paid money, wrote apps for them, but the volume of users is too low for most companies to invest. With the smartphone market dominated by Android and iOS, Windows-powered smartphones have consistently struggled to compete. Windows devices accounted for less than 0.5% for all new smartphone sales in the last quarter of 2016, according to a Gartner report. And now on to some Linux news. Plasma 5.11 has been released, and I've just installed it in the KDE Neon. I've not really experimented with any of the new features yet, but it does look quite a nice background there. Yeah, that's about the only thing I've looked at, as well as the new system settings. So yeah, in terms of new features, we have this new system settings design, although takes a bit getting used to really. I did quite like the old one. But anyway, notification history, that's now changed, so you can get more of a history of notifications. Some improvements to Task Manager. Plasma Vault. This is a feature that some people have been asking about. So will the new version of Ubuntu 17.10 get this? No, not immediately. You will have to install the backports repository to get Plasma 5.11 and gain the Plasma Vault feature. For users who often deal with sensitive, confidential and private information, the new Plasma Vault offers strong encryption, features presented in a user-friendly way. Plasma Vault allows to unlock and encrypt sets of documents and hide them from prying eyes, even when the user is logged in. These vaults can be decrypted and opened easily. Plasma Vault extends Plasma Activities feature with secure storage. Some application launcher menu improvements, some changes to the folder view, and another interesting feature on Wayland. Yeah, a lot of work has been put into Plasma on Wayland. KWin, Plasma's Wayland compositor, can now automatically apply scaling based on pixel density of a screen, and even do so for each screen individually. In other words, if you've got a 1080 screen and a 4K screen, you can scale them both to have the same look and feel on the resolution as each other. And work has started to allow a completely X-free environment, starting with X-Wayland compatibility layer, only when an application requires it. This will eventually result in improved security and performance, as well as reduced resource consumption. Very nice, very nice. And KDE have shipped KDE Applications version 17.08.2. It's mainly bug fixes, but some other improvements have concluded. A memory leak and crash in exit of Plasma events, plugin configuration was fixed. Read messages are no longer removed immediately from an unread filter in aggregator, and GwenView importer now uses EXIF date and time. Ubuntu 17.10, which is codenamed Artful Aardvark, has reached the release candidate stage of development. The final release will be expected on the 19th of October, I do believe. So I have begun doing my reviews of the distributions, because at this point they're not really going to change, and I haven't really had any problems. So I've actually started with Ubuntu Mate, which does look bloody excellent. From Softpedia, Gnome 3.28 desktop environment to land March 14th, 2018, and development work is starting very soon. Of course, we don't expect the first milestone of Gnome 3.28 to reveal any of the new features that will be implemented, but later in the development cycle, which will continue in the coming months until the end of the year, with 2 more such milestones, namely Gnome 3.27.2 on November the 15th and Gnome 3.27.3 on December the 13th. And it will be expected to hit beta in January 2018. So yes, just some mentions of the milestones really at this point. From ZDNet, Purism Linux smartphone makes its 1.5 million crowdfunding goal. So besides giving you a choice of Gnome or KDE for its interface, the Purism Librem 5 smartphone will use Purism's Pure OS. This is a Debian Linux-based operating system. The company promises you can also use other Linux distributions. In fact, I'm not entirely sure whether they've nailed it down, whether they'll use Gnome or KDE for the desktop. So this new smartphone isn't just for open source fans, it's also designed to protect your privacy and security. For example, it includes hardware kill switches for the camera, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and 3 and 4G. With the Librem 5, when you don't want to be connected, you won't be connected. Very nice, interesting feature. In addition, Purism states the phone will have end-to-end encrypted communication, and it will be done so using Matrix, an open standard for interoperable, decentralized, real-time communication for VoIP and instant messaging. If all goes well, the first developer kits should ship in June 2018, and the first phones will ship to customers in January 2019. And from CBus blog, 4 reasons why the Librem 5 got funded. So unique privacy features, kill switches, and audible code. Thanks to the US, we're now living a dystopian future of Orwell's 1984. It's time to put an end to this with hardware kill switches that cut off power to radio, microphone, and camera, so phones can't be hacked into. Hackable software means choice. Although didn't Ubuntu offer that option, and well, we know what happened there. Support promise. Can a small company such as Purism actually guarantee support for the whole mobile software stack for years into the future? Perhaps. The point is, even in case they fail, and I don't see why they would, the device isn't unsupported. With the Librem, you're not locked into a single vendor's ecosystem, but you buy into support from the whole free software community. And it builds and enables a new ecosystem. And convergence allows users to blur the lines between their devices and advancing the goal that hasn't been on the agenda with the current duopoly. And now to the gift that keeps on giving, Equifax. They've blundered even more again. So first off, we got a statement about the data leakage from United Kingdom customers. Yes, the focus has been on the United States, but there were records leaked for UK and Canada. Equifax can confirm that a file containing 15.2 million UK records dating between 2011 and 2016 was attacked in the incident. Some load of nonsense about why they're grovelling and apologising, but they will need to contact the confirmed 693,665 customers by post. And there is mention of customers who had a phone number accessed will be offered a leading identity monitoring service for free. Hopefully not from Equifax, preferably from a company that is competent in security. And also from Ars Technica, Equifax website hacked again, this time to redirect users to a fake flash update. Although it is not entirely true what is stated there in the headline, because it was a tracking service that was used by the company had been hacked. And the scripts redirecting users to these fake flash plugins, so there are actually a number of websites affected on the same day, except that Equifax was the most prominent. But nevertheless, Equifax are responsible for the code that they use on their website, and they should have noticed this sooner. So yes, a fine service being offered here. And from the register, SuperValu in Ireland has been breached, and the advice is pretty disgusting here. SuperValu confirms its advice to customers to check their bank accounts. What, just keep an eye on it after hackers have extracted credit cards and debit card numbers and expiry dates from its systems. Oh, but it's okay, PINs and CVV numbers are not thought to have been exposed. Well, I should bloody well hope you're not recording PIN numbers as well. God. But there was a bit of good news. Well, okay, it's not good news to start with, that Disqus have been breached, but it's more of an older breach dated back some time, but they've showed how to do it correctly. So this is an article from Troy Hunt, and he says 23 hours and 42 minutes from initial private disclosure to discuss publicly notifying and impacted accounts proactively protected. Less than 24 hours and all sensibly done. And they've stated there in the timeline of events that they were initially contacted by Troy Hunt, who had informed that Disqus data may have been exposed. They obtained the data, began to analyse it to verify its validity. They started contacting users. This is just one day later. They started contacting users and resetting the passwords of all users and passwords included in the breach. And later on in the day, they publicly disclosed the incident. So yes, it's not all accounts that have actually been affected, but it was dating back to 2012, and they weren't doing such good protection on their passwords. They were salted SHA-1 hashes, but from what I've read, they're actually using bcrypts now, so it makes it considerably harder to hack the passwords with bcrypt. And for this week's stupid news from the New York Post, parents forget toddler in corn maze. A 3-year-old boy reportedly got left in the Utah corn maze Monday night. The parents ventured into a crazy corn maze in West Jordan, Utah with their child on Monday night and did not realise the kid was missing until the next morning. The boy was found by a Good Samaritan who took him to the maze staff. They tried to locate his parents, but they were not at the maze. The boy appeared to be fine but was taken to Child Protective Services. Parents did not call the police until Tuesday morning and told them the child might still be in the corn maze. Wow, Parents of the Year right there. Anyway, that's a week of Linux and security news. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later.